I'm Charlie. I will be performing a monologue from Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 1. I will be performing Benvolio. Tybalt, here slay, and Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who all as hot turns deadly point to point, and to it they go, and the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, who cries aloud, hold, friends, friends part, and swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes underneath an envious thrust from Tybalt, hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then he fled, but by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. To it they go, like lightning, for ear could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
We will be performing The Tempest.
Act 2, Scene 1.
I will be playing Antonio.
And I'll be Sebastian. What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth not our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all, as by consent. They dropped, as by a thunderstroke. Worthy Sebastian, what might, oh what might, no more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What art thou wakened?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language that thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is strange repose to be asleep, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, how you let your fortune sleep, die, rather waste, whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be too if heed me, which to do so trebles the o'er.
Well, I'm standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb. Hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how the purpose you cherish, how, in mocking it, you almost invest more in it. Every man do often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim, a matter from thee, and a birth indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, he who shall be of little memory, once he is earthed, has persuaded the king his son's alive. 'Tis impossible that he is undrowned, and yet he sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? Such higher hope that it cannot pierce a wink beyond. But doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir to Naples?
Clarabelle?
Hello, I'm Luke, and I'll be performing a monologue from the play Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 1. In this monologue, I'll be playing the part of Macbeth. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see the inform as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallet me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes have made the fools who were the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now o'er the one half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse thy curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, who howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace. With Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Was I threat, he lives. Words the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Hi, I'm Will. My name is George. We'll be performing a duologue from Twelfth Night. It will be Act 3, Scene 4. I will be playing Olivia. And I will be Malvolio.
How now, Malvolio? Sweet lady, ho ho. Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad, lady? I could be sad. This does bring some obstruction to the blood, this cross-gathering. But what of that? If it please the eye of one, it is with me as the very true sonnet is. Please one and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. It did come to his hands, and commands shall be executed. I think we do know the sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed? Aye, sweetheart. I'll come to thee.
Heaven restore thee! Why dost thou smile so, and kiss thy hand so oft?
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well writ.
What meanest thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great,
Huh?
some achieve greatness,
What sayest thou?
and some have greatness thrust upon them.
Heaven restore thee.
Remember who commended thy yellow stockings,
Thy yellow stockings?
and wished to see thee cross-gartered.
Cross-gartered?
Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so.
Am I made?
If not, let me see thee a servant still.
Why, this is very midsummer madness.
Hello, I'm Henry, and I'll be reciting a monologue from Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2, and I'll be playing the role as Mark Antony. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus have told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man. So are they all honourable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was a friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor had cried, Caesar had wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on Lupercal. I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he thrice refused. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honourable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to Brutus' feast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Hello, my name is Christian. I'll be performing an extract from King Henry V, and I will be playing Henry in Act 2, Scene 2. God quit you in his mercy. Hear your sentence. You have conspired against our royal person, joined with an enemy proclaimed, and from his coffers received the golden earnest of our death, wherein you would have sold your king to slaughter, his princes and his peers to servitude, his subjects to oppression and contempt, and his whole kingdom into desolation. Touching our person, seek we no revenge, but we our kingdom's safety must so tender, whose ruin you have sought, that to her laws we do deliver you, get you therefore hence. Poor, miserable wretches, to your death, the taste whereof God of his mercy give you patience to endure, and true repentance of all your dear offences, bear them hence. Now, lords for France, the enterprise whereof shall be to you, as us, like glorious. We doubt not of a fair and lucky war, since God so graciously hath brought us to light. This dangerous treason lurking in our way, to hinder our beginnings, we doubt not now, but every rub be smoothed on our way. Then forth, dear countrymen, let us deliver our puissance into the hand of God, putting it straight into expedition, but cheerily to see the signs of war advance. No king of England, if not king of France.
My name is Tom, and I will be performing a monologue from Coriolanus, Act 4, Scene 5, and I will be performing as Aphidius.
O Marcius, Marcius, each word thou hast spoke hath weeded from my heart a root of ancient envy. If Jupiter should from yon cloud speak divine things, and say 'tis true, I not believe them more than thee. O noble Marcius, let me twine mine arms about that body, where against my grain ash 100 times hath broke and scarred the moon with splinters. Here I clip the anvil of my sword, and do contest as hotly and as nobly with thy love, as ever in ambitious strength I did contend against thy valour. Know thou first, I love the maid I married, never man sighed true breath, but that I see thee here, thou noble thing, more dances my rapt heart than when I first my wedded mistress saw bestride my threshold. Why, thou Mars, I tell thee, we have a power on foot, and I had purpose once more to hew thy targets from thy brawn, or lose mine arm foot. Thou hast beat me out 12 several times, and I have nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We've been down together in my sleep, unbuckling helms, fisting each other's throats, and wait, half dead, with nothing.
I'm Adam,
I'm Thomas.
and we're going to be performing Henry IV, Part 1, Act 2, Scene 1. I'm going to be playing Falstaff.
And I'll be playing Hal.
What time of day is it, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted, with drinking of old sack, and unbuttoning thee after supper, and sleeping upon benches after noon, that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of the day? Unless hours were cups of sack, and minutes capons, and clocks the tongues of boards, and dials the signs of leaping houses, and the blessed sun himself, a fair hot wench and flame-coloured taffeta, I see no reason why thou shouldst be so superfluous to demand the time of the day.
Indeed, you come near me now, Hal, for we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, not by Phoebus, he that wandering night so fair. And I pray thee, sweet lad, when thou art king, as God save thy grace, majesty I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What? None?
No, by my troth, not so much as to serve prologue to an egg and butter.
Well, how then? Come, round it.
Marry then, sweet wag. When thou art king, let not us who are squires of the night's body be good thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentle in the shade, minions of the moon, and let men say we be men of good government, being governed as the sea is, by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, on whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too, for the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed, as the sea is, by the moon. As for proof now, a purse of gold most resolutely snatched on Monday night, and most dissolutely spent on Tuesday morning, got with swearing lay by, and spent with crying bring in, now in as low an ebb as the foot of the ladder, and by in as high a flow as the ridge of the gallows.
By the Lord, thou sayest true, lad. And is not thy hostess of the tavern most sweet wench?
As the honey of Hibla, my old lad of the castle, and is not a buff jerkin and most sweet robe of durance?
How now, mad wag? What in thy quips and thy quiddities? What a plague have I to do with the buff jerkin?
And what a pox have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Well, thou hast hooted to a reckoning many a time upon.
Did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
No, I'll give thee thy due, thou hast paid there.
Yea, and elsewhere, so far as my coin would stretch. And where it would not, I have used my credit.
Yeah, and use it so not heir apparent that you are heir apparent. Will there be gallows standing in England without king, and resolution thus fobbed by the rusty coat of old Father Antic the law? Do not thou, when thou art king, hang the thief.
No, thou shalt. Shall I? By the Lord, oh rare, I'll be a brave judge. Thou judgest false already. I mean, thou shalt have the hanging of the thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
Yeah, well, and some sort of jumps with my humour as well as waiting in the court, I can tell you.
For obtaining of suits?
Yeah, for obtaining of suits. For a hangman hath no lean wardrobe. Splod, I'm as melancholy as a gibbed cat or a lug bear.
Or an old lion, or a lover's lute.
Yeah, or the rusty drone of a Lincolnshire bagpipe.
What sayest thou to a hare, or the melancholy of Mordred?
Thou hast the most unsavoury similes, yet art the most comparative rascal and sweetest young prince. And I prithee how, trouble me no more with vanity. I would to God thou, and I knew where a commodity of good names were to be bought. An old lord of the council rated me in the street the other day, about you, sir. Yet I regarded him not, yet he talked very wisely, and yet I marked him not, and yet he talked very wisely, and in the street too.
Hello, I'm Hugo, and I'll be performing Much Ado About Nothing, playing Benedict, Act 2, Scene 3.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. It seems they pity the lady. Her affections have their full bent. Love me.
Why, it must be requited. I hear how I'm censored. They say I'll bear myself proudly, shall I ever perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she'll rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say she is a fair lady. 'Tis a truth, I can bear witness. And wise, but for loving me. And virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I'll be horribly in love with her. I may have some odd quirk and remnants of wit broken upon me, as I ran so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth, which he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humour? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here she comes. By this day, she is a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
I'm Monty. This is the play of Coriolanus. This is Act 4, Scene 5, and I'm playing Coriolanus. My name is Caius Marcius. Was done to thee particularly, and to all the Volsces, great hurt and mischief. Thereto witness my surname, Coriolanus. The painful services, the drops of blood, the extreme dangers shed for my thankless country are requited. But with that surname, a good memory,
and witness of the malice and displeasure, which thou shouldst bear as me. Only that name remains. The cruelty and envy of the people, permitted by our dastard nobles, have all forsook me, devoured the rest, and suffered me by the voices of slaves to be whipped out of Rome. Now this extremity hath brought me to thy hearth, not out of hope, mistake me not, to save my life. For if I had feared death, all the men I the world would avoided thee. But in mere spite, to be full quit of those my banishers, stand I before thee here. Then, if thou was a heart to wreak in thee, thou wilt use thine own particular wrongs and stop those maims of shame seen through thy country. Speed thee straight and make my misery serve thy turn. So use it, that my revengeful services will prove as benefits to thee. For I will fight against my conquered country, and with the spleen of all the under-fiends.
Hi, I'm Danik, and I'm going to be performing a monologue from The Tempest, Act 3, Scene 3, and I'm going to be playing the part of Aaron. You're freemen of sin, whom destiny that hath the instrument of this lower world and what is in't. The never so fated sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this isle where man doth not inhabit, you most men be most unfit to live. I have made you mad. And even with such like valour men hang and drown and rob themselves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemobbed-at stabs kill the still-closing quarters, as diminish one Albert of my crew, my fellow ministers alike invulnerable. And if you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from a lung to supplant good Prospero, exposed onto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have been sent to the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures, against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me, lingering perdition, worse than any death, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads. It's nothing but heart sorrow, and a clear light in the searing.